Something very important we have to think about is giving the user a possibility to update his card details, right? So we're going to take care of that in this lesson. I'm going to head over to my profile.blade.php, and in the last tab, I'm going to create a div. So just to display the user his current card, maybe the card brand and the last 4 digits, because that's what Laravel Cashier saves into our database when we subscribe a user to a plan. Okay, so right here I'll maybe just have an h2, the text center, which is gonna say your current card, and it's gonna echo out auth user, card brand, and we also want one for the card last 4. So we could have card last 4 right here. Okay, it's just gonna give us the last 4 digits of the card. We could separate this with a colon, and we could wrap all of this in a batch. So span dot batch primary. Okay, so that's what we have. If we try to visit the profile page and refresh and check out the settings, we have MasterCard 4444 right here. Okay, so let me change this from settings to card details, and below what we want to have is actually a view component which is going to pop open a modal for us to update the user's card details. And basically the user's card details modal is exactly what we use to collect the credit card details, and we're going to simply duplicate it and then edit it to fit our needs. So in our components, we're going to open the Stripe view component, copy everything in it, and then we're going to create a new component that we're going to call update card.view, and I'm going to paste that in. Then in my app.js, I'm going to register a new component, and this is going to use the tag view update card, and would require in the newly created component update card.view. Okay, so in our profile.blade.php, we're gonna mount that component right here. Maybe in a p, the text center, we could have view update card, and would have view update card. And also we want this to take in the email of the user, so we'll pass in this prop, which will simply echo out the authenticated user's email. Okay, and then one last thing in our Blade, I'll head over to my subscribe.blade, and I'm going to copy this script right here because we're going to be using this exact same modal. So we're going to need Stripe checkout, and then in the newly created component, I'm going to pull out one of the buttons because we just need one, and the one we're going to be using is simply gonna say update card details. Okay, and this is no longer going to be a subscribe method. I'm going to create a new method called update. So when the user clicks on that button, it's going to call update. Then right here for our mounted, we'll pass our public key, local auto, and we're going to actually change what we are doing right here. So right here, our Axios call is not going to be subscribe, is going to be card update, something like that. Okay, so incrementally, let's change this. So here we have our prop email, which we are already passing in, and right down at the bottom, we no longer need the amount or the plan. We also do not need the subscribe method, so all we need is an update method. So I'll change this to update, and I'll pull out the plan, and I'm going to remove all of these if statements right here. Okay, we're no longer dealing with plans. So this.handler.open, we don't need to pass in the amount, and we can actually change the panel label. Okay, so what is displayed in the panel, and this is going to be update card details. Okay, so for now, let's just check out what we have in our configuration, and then we're going to move on. So I'll refresh this page. This is the user's profile page. Visit the card details tab, and there we have it. We have MasterCard 4444, and we can click on update card details, and it automatically opens this modal up, and you see the panel info right here is update card details. Okay, so we can also turn off allow remember me to false by passing in the allow remember me, and we can set it to false and refresh update card details, and we have just the exact form needed to update the user's card details. Makes sense, right? So let's work on what happens when we get a token from Stripe. Our post would be to card update, which we're going to create. We don't need no plan. So we just pass in the Stripe token to our Laravel server with the token. And then we are going to change this text to, please wait while we update you or update your card details. Okay. And then right here, we're going to say successfully updated card details. Okay. So in our Laravel server, we need to create this endpoint. So I'll head over to my web.php and I'm going to create the endpoint just right here. So route post, and it's going to be card update. And for now, I'm just going to put this in a closure for simplicity. And what it's going to do is, it's going to get the token, which is request token, or actually Stripe token, because this is what we are passing in from our form. So Stripe token, and we get it, and we just get the user, which is the authenticated user. And Laravel Cashier simply provides us with an update card method, which takes in the tokenized card from Stripe. Okay. And once that's done, we can return response, which could be a JSON, and we can just say, okay. And automatically there will be a 200, which means successful. Okay. So in our component, if it's successfully updated, we'll see this message. And I think everything is wired up to work as expected. So let's try it out. I'll head over to my form, refresh, card details, click on that, pop up the model, and I'm going to change this to a Visa test card, and I'll click on update card details. Okay, so we have our updates message, and successfully, when it updates the card, we have successfully updated card details in a modal that is displayed to us. So if we click on OK, it's going to refresh this page, and if we check out our card details, it has been changed to Visa 4242, and that's exactly the same thing that happened on our Stripe dashboard.